Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live Podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmy, and Damon Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Habari Live. Habari Ghani, my people. We are thrilled to bring you the latest edition of the Habari Live Podcast, your go-to podcast for the Pulse of Phoenix and beyond. As always, we're all the way live in Phoenix, Arizona, Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Damon Ellison and my co-host,
Iesha.
And we will be your guide through the exciting stories and everyday happenings in our vibrant community, your weekly dose of inspiration, innovation, and insightful conversations from the heart of our city. So let's get it going. Another crazy week in politics. I think that Donald Trump is just going into his bag of excuses and other things of that nature to keep us off the Epstein files. He doesn't want to talk about that, so he's just doing everything. So it's been a week filled with executive orders, crazy statements, talking about which cities he's going to send the troops next. Just a lot of craziness, man, that Trump is trying to keep up. The stupid stuff of renaming the Department of Defense to the Department of War, something from 1940, which about Trump and them, that's what they want to roll us back to, about 1940. That's where they feel good. You know, that's where they want us to be at. 1940. And we all know how things were in 1940, man, for minorities and people of color, anyone that's different. Didn't have a great time in 1940. But these are the times that they're trying to push us back to. These are the days that they call making America great again. So we're going to go back to the 40s because that's what they want to do. For the Department of War, they said. And this the guy who said he won a Nobel Peace Prize. That sounds really, really peaceful, pushing a Department of War. Go bless you and your path friends. Oh, God bless you for sure. Appreciate you. Good morning. Yeah, man.
Thanks to everyone joining in on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're joining in from.
We appreciate you guys. We're nothing without you. And it's just it's crazy to see the distractions that he's lobbing day by day, trying to keep the media thrown off. We saw the jobs report. We're going to talk about that. Another L. Terrible, man. Terrible news. So I wonder who he's going to fire this time. You know, he's off the tops. He's blaming the interest rates, saying that's the reason why people aren't hiring. No, the reason why people aren't hiring is your tariffs. Your tariffs are making the economy very unstable. And it's leading to a lot of different problems that we're having and we're seeing so far right now. You know, they love to talk about the stock market, but the stock market is not the workers. That's not the people. That's not the people that get up every day and have to go to work. Those are the rich people that are investing. That's the people who are making these decisions on what's going on there, and they're using that barometer to say that it's okay, while all these people are getting fired. And and job creation is just not happening right now. You know, he can fire everybody he wants to, but when we see what's going on with job creation, whose fault is it, man? We can't blame anybody but the guy in charge because of the decisions that he made, where we already had an economy that was facing inflation and trying to bring those numbers down. He comes in and starts a trade war. If you don't think those things has a negative impact on our economy, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You have to be weird to not realize this. It's negative. It's impacting us. We see the job creation. We see the prices of goods from Home Depot to Amazon to Hasbro to all these places that's raising their prices, and they're telling us openly it's because of tariffs. And it's a weird situation, man. So we're trying to do everything we can to keep you guys updated on the truth, because every day they're pushing mistruth. They're pushing misinformation, disinformation. They doing everything you can to keep the wool over your eyes. Man, every time on TikTok, I swear to goodness. Oh man, goodness, bro. We ain't even live 5 minutes.
Right.
They already on us. Man. Yeah, man. So I mean, we trying to keep you guys updated on what's going on, like always. And if you like what you're hearing, like what you're seeing, please make sure to subscribe, hit the follow button, for we can keep you updated with our opinions and our views of what's going on in the world of politics, news, and beyond. So, Iesha, I know you have a lot of things on the rundown. Go ahead and run down the top news stories of the week so far. What's up, Iesha?
Yeah, there was a lot of things that happened this week. First of all, Florida phased out all childhood vaccine mandates.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, this vaccine stuff, dog.
Florida Surgeon General Joseph Ladapo, alongside Governor Ron DeSantis, announced plans effective September 3rd.
Oh, we forgot to send that video.
To phase out all childhood vaccine mandates for public school enrollment, including those for measles, polio, hepatitis B, and chickenpox. Ladapo framed current requirements as immoral and likened them to slavery, emphasizing prenatal, paternal autonomy and bodily freedom. Health experts and Democratic leaders have strongly criticized this move, warning of a potential public health crisis, because this makes why this actually matters is because this actually makes Florida the first U.S. state to take such a sweeping step, promoting heated policy debates on a public safety versus a personal choice.
Yeah, I wanted to run that video, but it looks like we don't. Did you?
It's in the email.
You sure?
We have it. Yeah, it's in the email.
Go to the email for me, bro. See if we have that. Hit back right there. Right there. Download it. Yeah. See if we can get that in there. This is I'm sick of politicians on the right always comparing things to slavery.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really sickening, and I'm really sick of it. I can't stand when they do this. It's saving people. Vaccinations save people. How you can liken that to slavery is just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And anything he said before then should be X'd out because of that dumb shit he just said.
Right.
And the fact that so many people are willing to say that vaccines are causing autism because of some shit you saw online, I just don't understand people nowadays. All the years, man, most everyone of you people are vaccinated.
Every single one.
And you've lived long lives. You didn't die when you got the vaccination. You don't have autism. Go ahead and run the video of this jerk.
The Florida Department of Health, in partnership with the governor, is going to be working to end all vaccine mandates in Florida law. All of them. All of them. Every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery. Who am I as a government or anyone else, or who am I as a man standing here now to tell you what you should put in your body? Who am I to tell you what your child should put in your body? You don't have that right. Your body is a gift from God.
Oh my goodness.
What you put into your body is because of your relationship with your body and your God. I don't have that right. Government does not have that right. They want you to believe they have that right.
Oh my goodness.
Man, he said they don't have the right. Isn't these the same people that's trying to tell you what babies you should have?
Yep.
Aren't these the same people that's pushing, trying to tell you what you shouldn't be doing with your kid?
Yep.
Like, wow, these same people are now saying your body, your choice. But you're telling people that they can't have their choice on abortion? Man, these motherfuckers, boy, they are wild. Like, dude, I don't get it. I do not get it. These same people talking about your body, your choice, what you put inside of it. But shouldn't it be the women's choice? Why you telling them they don't have a choice in Florida? But when it comes to vaccines, since this is a winning politic move for y'all, because the crazy people online believe in this mess. Vaccines are the only reason people still aren't getting polio right now. Dog, why the government should enforce vaccines? How do you stop the spread of disease in a community if you don't have control over what medicines are trying to push those diseases out of the community? We all have a right to make sure that we are not spreading disease to others, because we live in a city and a town with other people. If you want to say, fuck everybody, you don't care what diseases you're spreading, go live your ass in one of those little white towns, product towns on the top of a mountain somewhere. You're not going to be going to school with everyone else spreading disease. Like, dude, we've talked about it a million times. There are people who have immunizations compromised. They have compromised immune systems. These people don't care. They don't care about older people who have compromised. I don't care. Dude, y'all want to have your own school filled with people who are not vaccinated? That is fine. But do I want you around my kid and you're not vaccinated? You can get measles and mumps and polio? Come on, man. There's a reason we don't see these diseases anymore like we used to. Do you think it's just like we just rolled the dice and it just came out that way? This was hard work put in by scientists and doctors trying to figure out what's going on. Man, this is crazy. I don't care what I'm calling you. You people are putting people's lives in danger. You're putting people's lives in danger because you read some shit online. You don't see that, man, dude. I don't understand.
Daddy Ransom said a fetus.
People with compromised immunity get treated. What are you talking about? Man, dog, I swear. Look, man, hey, I have to 100% disagree with you people. In this goddamn world, everybody was dying at age 35 before we figured out modern medicine and vaccinations. People were dying. I don't understand. What are we talking about? We're going to go more into it, man, in a second, man. But this is just ridiculous. These accusations they throw out about COVID is just ridiculously insane. Oh, COVID was killing everyone. No. Duh. We know that. Then they put in a vaccination that helped to slow down the murder. Now we're not seeing anybody dying anymore. Do you think that's just happenstance? That people just stop dying because? It wasn't because of you anti-vaccinated people. It was because of the people who went out there and got vaccinated, got the immunization, the ability to fight these, the damn COVID. We're not doing. I mean, it's just ridiculous that people sit here and talk about something that we saw get cured. We saw them be able to slow the disease down. How many
Prevention.
people was killing this? How many people were dying? And now they're talking about, oh, all these people, they died. Like, dude, no. Come on. People were saved. We're going to go into the numbers a little bit more, but people were saved by the vaccinations. Yep. Vaccines are what saved this world from being wiped out. Man, dude, in Europe, they had the plague. People were dying because they were living with rats and not cleaning. All of the science that we have learned, you are the type of people that would have kept going, dying from the plague because you thought it was witches with cats that was making it happen.
Right.
That's the type of people y'all are. You believe it was some lady she had some magic. Witches kill them. They come up with real answers. Clean yourself. Maybe stop living with rats. Stop throwing fecal matter into the streets. These are the things that Europe had to figure out because other areas already knew these things, but Europe, they were a little late when it came to cleanliness. And these are the people that we would be listening to. Population immunity is why COVID slowed.
How do you think we got population immunity?
What do you think? Do you think that people just came immune just because? Like, what are you talking about? Immunity happened because of the vaccine. What are y'all talking about? We're going to bring chickenpox is gone. Most of these kids are not getting chickenpox anymore. We used to all get it when we were little.
We used to have chickenpox parties.
Everybody used to get chickenpox. Now these kids, they don't get chickenpox anymore. Why? There was a vaccination. We don't get it anymore. But y'all want to go back to the days of measles and mumps and chickenpox.
Polio.
Kids were dying from chickenpox, man. Some kids would live, but a lot of kids were not making it past that day. Why would you want to put your kid's life on the line? Dude, I don't get it. I don't understand. But go ahead and go with the next one, man. Go ahead.
California said that they're going to place a bill that would require schools to alert parents when ICE is on campus.
Good.
A bill passed by the California legislature mandates that K-12 schools, community colleges, and CSU campuses develop plans to notify parents and teachers whenever ICE agents are present on campus. UC campuses are encouraged but not required to do the same. Now headed to Governor Newsom's office, who has until October 12th to sign this into law. If enacted, the bill would remain in effect through 2031. But why does this matter? Well, that's because they're trying to protect immigrant communities and maintain safe learning environments.
Mm-hmm.
So this bill is going to reflect a growing concern over the emotional toll of ICE operations around our schools.
ICE should not be going to schools. The whole thing that Trump said is they were all criminals. They're all rapists and gang members. Why are you going to schools after little kids? Like, it doesn't make sense what ICE is doing. How are you going after little kids if you're supposed to be going after such bad, horrible, horrible people? Mm-hmm. That's what you said. They're horrible. They're bad. They're criminals. They're all killing. And then you're at schools and you're at warehouses where people work. Like, it's in total contradiction of what you said you were going to do. Why are we not at Home Depot? Stephen Miller said. Like, these people want to go after people who just trying to work and live their life and feed their families.
Right.
A lot of people are applauding this. They like it. They love it. They love this. They love it. This Gestapo style, Nazi type ICE. It's disgusting.
You're right. They are. But, That's neither here nor there. In Arizona, Section 8 covers your rent up to $6,020 per month. Reports reveal that Arizona's Housing Choice Voucher, or the Section 8 program, now covers rental costs up to $6,020 per month, notably for 6-bedroom homes in Maricopa County zip codes 85298 and 85331. Some of these properties list for under that amount, but taxpayer watchdogs have criticized such high allowances as placing recipients in the lap of luxury. And this matters because the revelation raises questions about the balance between providing affordable housing and responsible use of taxpayer dollars.
Man, you know, a lot of people come online and they talk about the people that's on aid and taking advantage of aid, and they don't want to work, and it's black people. I already know those 2 zip codes are white as hell. Why are they letting people get Section 8 with $6,000 rent? But what is that about? $6,000 rent, man.
Mm-hmm.
$6,000. That's a lot of money, man. Well, ICE wasn't Danny Ransom. ICE wasn't doing what they're doing now. I mean, why do you guys live in the past? Never was ICE running around with masks on before now. Never was ICE going into schools until now. What do you mean? You're yes, we want Obama and others to deport people who are not supposed to be here. That's the way the system has always worked. But the system is not working the same when they're not giving due process to people. They're grabbing people at Home Depot. They're going to places where people work. They're grabbing people who are still in the process of trying to become citizens and have met all their court dates. And they're grabbing them and sending them home. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's different, man. We were not seeing this stuff. We were not seeing it. Yeah, the cages were temporary. And they were not. And stop making excuses. That was 10 years ago. How does that make what's going on right now any better? Y'all always making excuses. That's all y'all do. Well, look at him. Didn't your mother ever tell you to take responsibility for your motherfucking shit instead of pointing at others?
Or how about 2 wrongs don't make a right?
Goodness. The fucking cages were not used in that fucking manner. Stop it. If that was the way it was used, Fox News would have been talking about that shit every day, all day. That's all they would be talking about. Quit it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Texas lawmakers approve allowing citizens to sue abortion pill providers.
Oh, my God.
Texas legislature passed a bill now awaiting Governor Abbott's signature that enables private citizens to sue doctors, distributors, or anyone who mails abortion medication into Texas. Suits may seek at least $100,000 in damages, and providers sending such pills could face legal liability, even if the patient lives in another state. This is a significant expansion of private enforcement of state abortion laws.
Yeah, man, the right, they really want to tell people what to do with their bodies when it comes to kids. But when it comes to vaccines, your body, your choice. When it comes to spreading disease across to all other kids and everybody else, your body, your choice.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to you having to have a kid that's going to cost you on average $1 million to raise nowadays, you don't have a choice. You don't have options. You have to have that kid because we believe that you need to do what the government tells you to do.
With your body.
Right. Exactly. But now these same people, the government shouldn't tell me. Man, vaccines we had a president with polio, bro. That's how bad shit was. Like, we couldn't do nothing but give dude a wheelchair. Like, here you go, bro.
Right.
Like, shit was bad, man. It was bad. I don't want to go back to those times. And all you people who sit and don't know nothing about history, the average person was dying at the age 35. And y'all think, oh, well, if we eat organic food and they stop putting chemicals in our food, then we'll live forever and autism will go away. You idiots.
The bull of the woods thinks that.
Goodness. They've been eating organic food for centuries. They were still dying at 35.
Right.
They were eating nothing but organic food, and they were croaking at 35. That was an old man. Like, these things that we're fighting over is so stupid, man. But we wish that you guys could make Florida your own thing. Go to Florida, and all of y'all people who think that medicine doesn't work and vaccines don't work and doctors don't work, go stay down there.
Wait a minute. There's somebody in the comment section that just told us we can use birth control to not have kids or practice abstinence.
That's what they're trying to stop right now.
But here's the thing. Birth control is not 100% effective.
But
neither is the use of condoms.
They're trying to stop it, though. Isn't that the people just trying to sue for having abortion pills?
Right.
They're trying to sue for having contraceptive in certain areas.
Yep.
They're trying to make it that you can't mail the Plan B or the Plan bills. You can't mail that. They're going against it.
Okay, so if that's the case, you want to argue, then we probably should make it illegal for men to ejaculate. Man, without a woman.
That's some shit somebody tried to do, and I think was it Texas and Tennessee. 2 idiots brought that bill forward. I think one of them was a joke, but it's ridiculous. Vaccines are poison. You're probably vaccinated, Brian, because your mother was smart, and you have kids and you won't vaccinate them, and they'll get mumps and measles and polio and whatever else that's going on nowadays. You're just
Women
putting
get
your
pregnant
kid
on birth control.
Yes, it does happen. I never said it's 100%. It's 99 or 98% effective.
Exactly. But they keep commenting, use birth control.
But at the same time, though, like I said before, they have been fighting contraceptive, birth control. They've been fighting these things for years. So it's crazy how they sit around and talk about this.
Use medicine.
But they don't even want those things to exist.
Right.
I'm not vaccinated by China. What are you talking about, bro? Anyway, go ahead, go home.
But this matters because this follows the state's controversial strategy for using private lawsuits to enforce abortion restrictions and could further deter access to medical abortions when actually medically necessary. For example, in cases such as ectopic pregnancies,
right,
or molar pregnancies.
Right. They don't believe in science. They don't believe in anything past what the Bible says. So they have a hard time with all these things that can happen to women and the problems that they run into because the Bible doesn't talk about those things. So they have no idea about any issues that a woman would have in the operating room or they may have during pregnancy. Even though we all watched all these movies that shows medieval times and women have these pregnancies and they just die. Nowadays we're able to see these things beforehand and try to save the woman and try to get rid of the baby because it might kill her because of the way the pregnancy has became. They don't believe in these things. They just want the woman to die.
It's crazy that you said that because 1 in 4 women in their lifetime will experience what's called a miscarriage. Now, in the medical world, for those of you that do not know, a miscarriage, when it is sent to your insurance, when you go to the doctor and it says, "Oh, you've had a miscarriage," guess what goes to the insurance company when it gets billed to the insurance company? It's billed as a missed abortion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I don't understand it. I mean, doctors are coming and saying, "Hey, This is a pregnancy that we need to terminate because of this. It's putting the ladies' lives at danger.
Or the pregnancy's not viable.
And they're willing to kill the lady. You know, it's a cold world when it comes to Republicans, man. They're a cold group. They don't care about anyone.
They don't.
And it's you know, what do they talk about that in the Bible? Where do they talk about science at all in the Bible? The things that could kill them. It's just like back then, hey, you have a baby, you couldn't make it.
Be fruitful and multiply.
You know?
It is not billed as a miscarriage.
It's
billed as a miscarriage / missed abortion.
Yeah, man. You know, I mean that's good. That's good, Pat. What you're saying, that's complete garbage. People gonna make mistakes, man. No one's perfect, and we know you're not perfect either. That's all.
No, we got 2 more here.
Okay.
As we probably will discuss later, Trump renamed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Yesterday, President Trump signed an executive order rebranding the Department of Defense as the Department of War, making it a secondary official name while legislative efforts for permanent change are pursued.
Yeah, because he has to go to Congress to get the name changed.
Yep.
And, you know, he doesn't believe in going through Congress or doing any of those things.
Right. And he's already has had many things going in place, including taking down the signage for the Department of Defense and place the Department of War up. And things like placing Secretary of War on Pete Hegseth's door.
Oh.
Trump cited the historical record of U.S. triumphs and aims to project a more assertive military posture.
It's insane because he's screaming that he wants the Nobel Peace Prize.
Mm-hmm.
What type person that wants peace renames his military after war? Obviously, this is a guy who wants war. This is not a guy who wants peace. We're seeing what he's letting Netanyahu's doing. He's not saying a word about Netanyahu and what he's doing to Palestine, to the Palestinians. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's disgusting what they're doing out there, man. And Trump hasn't said a word. He doesn't care at all. Mm-hmm. This is a guy who's talking about peace. Him and Netanyahu laughing, talking about the Nobel Peace Prize. Right. You don't get the fuck up out of here, man. These people are disgusting. Why they kill little babies and drop buildings and kill people and just keep talking about, well, Hamas, well, they're there somewhere. We're like, dog, y'all just killing little kids, man. Mm-hmm. Then you're taking out reporters, the journalists. It's nasty stuff out there, man. Trump hasn't said a word. The guy that said he would stop all these wars on day one, he's going on about his life going golfing.
Exactly. But I mean, you know, this symbolic shift reflects the administration's desire for a more forceful narrative, but raises practical and legal questions because we all know that only Congress can rename a federal department.
Yeah, this dude doesn't care.
He really doesn't. Because, I mean, you know, he's directing ICE to go into workforces like going to Home Depot and going to our schools and things like that.
He stopped 7. He stopped 7 what, man? Shut up, man.
We know that.
Man, they making up anything. Just say stupid stuff.
They do.
Ain't stopped 7 shits.
But ICE detained 450 workers, closer to 500. It's between 450 to 560 workers yesterday at the Hyundai facility in Elabelle, Georgia, including around 300 South Korean nationals.
Dang. Yeah, man, I saw another story today and yesterday. And the guy was talking about his wife. She was from somewhere in Europe, and they was getting her out of there. Mm-hmm. Now they're going after the South Koreans. So they're just trying to get their numbers. They really don't care. They're getting to the point where they can't meet the numbers they want to.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're just going after everyone. And hey, this is what a lot of people say they voted for, but our economy is going to take a big hit, man. We're losing a lot of people. The
We are.
economy is going to take a hit. All these people are paying money, working, paying taxes, buying products, paying rent. You guys think that this stuff is everything's a joke and just get them out of here. Okay. But we already see a hit when it comes to tourism. We already see a hit when it comes to retail, manufacturing. Like we're seeing these things. Farmers in Texas to Nebraska are getting hit. They're taking hits all across the country. While you guys sitting there clapping because somebody is being taken out but on the back end, we are going to see a lot.
You're absolutely right about that. Nature wins. They want to surpass Obama.
Yeah. They want to surpass Obama. They didn't like Obama. He was able to legally get more people deported without all this mess. And they still call him the deporter in chief. They were like, oh, the deporter in chief. He's deporting a lot of people. Look at Obama. But then clap when their dude does it. So you want people deported, but you didn't like it when it was a Democrat that did it. Right. Like I don't understand y'all logic on this.
Because they
y'all
want victory.
People
they
out.
Want to take credit for doing everything.
They I don't know. They just trying to make it seem like what Trump is doing is okay. But when Obama was doing it, they were against it. They hated him. They hated everything he was doing. He was so horrible. Everything about him was bad. But they love bringing up how he deported a lot more people. He was just better at it. He was able to use the government and do things better and more efficient than what Trump has been able to do in his terms.
Yep. You're absolutely right. But, this operation that happened at the Hyundai battery plant in Georgia was jointly conducted by ICE, the FBI, and the DEA, and disrupted construction of a significant $4.3 billion facility. South Korea's government has raised concerns about the treatment of its citizens.
Yeah.
But, it's also important to note here that this was also one of the largest workplace raids in recent years and underscores the intensifying immigration effort under the current administration and its international diplomatic fallout.
The Democrats are only mad because you are throwing people out of the country without due process. I know, I know that Trump and MAGA and all you guys are just stuck in what's going on in your mind, and nothing we can say to you will change it. We understand that. We get it, man. You people will never change your minds on anything. No matter how many times we say that Obama's ICE were not walking around in masks, grabbing people from Home Depot. Obama's ICE was not doing these things. They weren't shooting at people. They were doing things in a manner which were really facing most people who were already needed to be deported. They were doing this better and in a better way, a better manner. It's not about PR. It's they were following the fucking laws. Something Donald Trump does not like to do. Obama followed the law. He gave people due process. If they were going to court and doing the things that they need to do, he did not mess with them. That's why you didn't see the uproar. The people who were committing crimes, the people who were doing things illegally, they were sent home. Black fatigue is going worldwide. People are so stupid. Who cares, bro? Do you know that the numbers of Europeans are falling off worldwide? You know that, Mr. Piss Off? I know you just come to troll people, but did you know that? So what are you going to do when the world, which numbers are already way more than Europeans, when it comes to Indians, when it comes to Chinese, and when it comes to Africans? These are the people of the future because Europeans are not having kids at the numbers they need to replace themselves. So your good old racism is going to have some tough choices to make in the future. Because as the numbers drop, Norway's not having kids, Finland's not having kids, all of them. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when the rest of the world is lapping you on people? Your racism is not going to be as strong when America is not a predominantly white country anymore. You're going to be so mad. And I know that's what y'all so mad about all the time. Mm-hmm. You racists sitting around just pissed off, fighting the fucking air because one day minorities are going to rule this place. And you just don't know what to do. You just gotta be racist. Anyway, all right, man, let's get into this first story.
Run the news weekly for us,
yeah,
please.
Please run the Habari News Weekly.
And now, this week's Habari News Weekly with Damon Dipling Ellison, sponsored by.
So it's on you.
Welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and move into a little bit about RFK Jr. this week, where he sat through a hearing that really did not go too well for him. His ignorance sparked a heated rant after he left him kind of scorched. At one point during the hearing, one of his aides came up to him and tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hey, we can kind of hear you huffing and puffing. You're kind of not really doing so well up here." And he kind of got mad at that. So, I mean, I believe we do have a video of him in the hearing.
Yeah.
So if we can go ahead and run that, let's go ahead and run that.
Should be the first one, not that one. The RFK testifies. Down. Testifies. There you go.
Do you think the women on the steps of the Capitol were a hoax yesterday?
I don't know about any women on the steps of the Capitol.
The women who were talking about Epstein, do you think they were a hoax yesterday?
Do I think they were?
Do you think they were perpetrating a hoax yesterday?
Perpetuating a hoax?
Yeah.
I have no idea what they were saying. This is the first I'm hearing about it.
You're hearing about the women on the Capitol steps saying that they believe that the Epstein information should be made public? That's the first you're hearing about it? What I'm saying is you are perpetrating hoaxes. You, as this Secretary of Health, so you're undermining the whole healthcare delivery system, and you keep trying to point to chronic disease, but you're not putting solutions on the table to cover more Americans, and you're taking away the science and technology that has made us the leader that has saved, according to the first Trump administration Surgeon General, millions of lives, and you don't want to keep that going. So no, I don't support your continued efforts as Secretary, and I definitely think that our colleagues need to rally around science. If you want the Northwest to continue to lead on all innovation and all healthy people, okay, we'll do that. But it's a sad statement for the rest of America and America's leadership on technology. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Right.
Thank you.
Words that she spoke was nothing but the truth.
This dude got his ass barbecued. And it's because he's an idiot. And anyone that's behind him is an idiot too. I'm sorry, man. And I got people who argue with me trying to tell me this guy is right. Man, look, man, I understand the healthcare system makes a lot of money and that makes a lot of people mad. I understand the healthcare system has a lot of issues. I understand the healthcare system doesn't always work the way you want it to work. I get those things, man. I understand. Every time we try to change the system, people lose their fucking minds. Every time we try to put in a single payer system, people lose their minds because the racists don't want the poor
to have health
care. That's to them, they would rather slit their fucking wrists than let the poor people get care. So we are in these situations that we're in, then people start distrusting medicine because of the prices, people losing their homes because of medicine. The right, it's what's crazy about them is this. They will scream and holler they don't like certain vaccines, they don't trust doctors, this, and that. But anytime that there's a change and Democrats try to implement anything that's trying to make it more affordable, they lose their mind. I might lose my doctor. I love my... Hold on, dog. I thought you just were saying you don't trust him and the vaccinations that he's trying to give you.
Right.
How is it now? I trust my doctor. I want my doctor. I don't want to change my doctor. Like it's insane how y'all switch around and move the goalpost all the fucking time. It's ridiculous. Because if you look at all the times that things have been, and when Obama tried to put in Obamacare or the ACA, and what did these people do? They lost their mind. You can accept it. Let's see what this person got to say.
Blast Phantom Games. We're talking about healthcare.
It didn't work.
Nope.
All right, good. I didn't want a minute. But yeah, man. But you wonder why it's like that though. It's disgusting. So let's go ahead and run this second video of RFK and what the Democrats have to say about him resigning.
You are a hazard to the health of the American people. I think that you ought to resign. And if you don't resign, the President of the United States, who put forward Operation Warp Speed, which worked, should fire you.
It is in the country's best interest that Robert Kennedy step down, and if he doesn't, Donald Trump should fire him before more people are hurt by his reckless disregard for science and the truth.
Given the shakeup at the CDC, given what he's done to vaccine policy, is it your position, do you think the secretary should resign?
Absolutely. I mean, purely based on the fact that he has completely gone against what he pledged to this committee and to my friend Bill Cassidy. This is a giant step backwards.
Backwards. By their slogan, "Make America Great Again," and by Trump going to change names back to 1940, this guy trying to get us to pre-vaccine levels. These people want us to be somewhere in the early 1900s. They really trying to move us backwards with science, with religion, with race. These people are idiots. Period. There's no in between with these people right now. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. Trump is going to get that vaccination because he did. You remember? You remember that, right? He was vaccinated fast from COVID. While he told you to inject bleach into your veins, he went and got the vaccination.
Yep.
While he told you to do anything besides taking the vaccine, he went and got that vaccination. And y'all sitting here listening to these right-wing fools telling you not to go get it.
And they went and got it.
And they're playing you like fools because they see this stuff is popular online.
Yep.
They see this stuff wins with the fringe. They see that the right wing, the far right wing are saying these crazy things online, and they know they can get points for these things because the crazy people online love this stuff. Do your research. COVID killed everyone. Every time it's been debunked. How many comments we've had of people saying crazy stuff that COVID did? Just wrong. Just wrong. Just saying anything. Wrong. Just wrong. Because you've been reading some shit online that's fucking wrong. I mean, I would never understand it. This dude has no medical training, and we're listening to this guy because he's an online troll. RFK Jr. Batteries. RFK Jr. is a disgrace, man. Anybody who thinks of anything differently of it needs to go get their mind checked. This dude needs to resign ASAP. And if you can't see that, then like I said, man, you need to get you need to get checked out, bro. I've been talking to a lot of people, man, who I respect, who have no problem saying they're with this craziness. Now, I can't say that I 100% disagree with the guy, because when it comes to the chemicals in the foods that are banned worldwide, except America, I agree. We shouldn't have yellow number, whatever, or red dye, and all those red dyes and all those things. They definitely should be natural. I agree. But it's his vaccine stance that I am 100% against. Yes, I think the FDA should do a better job of making sure the foods that we eat and we put into our body are better. Yes, I think those things should be put in place, and I do think the Democrats dropped the ball on a lot of those things. I do think that the Republicans are doing, they moved the goalpost on something that Democrats just talked about. I have to tell the truth. I'm not going to sit here and just act like some things aren't real. Democrats should have done this. Everybody was screaming about this, and the Democrats didn't do anything about it. More of these things should have been removed, but they didn't do that. The Democrats and RFK did. And a lot of these companies are coming out talking about they're going to change and taking away these crazy dyes that are put in the food that are banned everywhere else. So I 100% agree with that. But it's the vaccine stance that I think is insane. We can do things in a manner that keeps things going the way they're supposed to go. They're making up diseases. They're making up excuses saying that these things cause these things without any. Do you know how many tests, how many trials that these doctors and pharmacists and pharmaceutical companies have to go through to implement a drug? Like, you can't just throw out theories. You have other people who are going to say, nah, that theory sounds wrong. We're going to fight against that. You're going to have to do all type trials to see exactly if your hypothesis is wrong or correct. You can't just throw out theories like the Republicans want to do today. Where is your studies? Where are your trials? Where is your proof? You have none. Study after study that says that vaccinations do not cause autism. The only thing that is creating the rise of autism is we have a better understanding of what autism is. So the numbers are rising because we understand it more. Mm-hmm. We get it. We understand it. We can say for sure what this person has. Thank you, Lorna. I appreciate you. We understand it. These doctors they're getting better at determining what this kid had. Back in the day, we just had no idea. We put them all on the same thing, mental retardation. This is all we did. But now, as we get more sophisticated, we can say for sure and pinpoint these things better. It's not rising because of vaccines. It's rising because we're getting smarter. We're getting better at what we're doing. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, Senator Bill Cassidy, who's an elected physician, drove the point home. Due to the new CDC guidelines, people are being denied vaccine access. Mm-hmm. He cited real examples, a cancer patient who couldn't get a COVID shot at her local CVS. And the doctors are unable to vaccinate due to liability confusion.
Mm-hmm. It's tough, man. It's a tough situation. Everybody wants the kids to be healthy. No one wants to people to die. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people want these vaccines. A lot of people feel comfortable. A lot of people understands the science, so they want to get the antibodies to be able to fight off whatever new strain of flu that's coming through. People believe in these things. And now, even here in Arizona, they're making it harder to get the COVID vaccine. People who really want it can't get it because they're waiting for the CDC to do their job and say it's okay. And we already know they're going to play politics on this. They're going to put people's lives in danger, playing politics with these damn diseases and these vaccines. And it's a damn shame. The Senate's Finance Committee hearing turned explosive, man. Health Secretary RFK was under fire for sweeping changes at the CDC. firing Director Susan Monarez, and dismantling its advisory panels, while also defending policies while widely seen as undermining vaccine access. It's just been crazy. It, dog, I mean, I've never felt so disappointed in society as when we was going through the COVID thing. I read a lot about the Spanish flu, and the Spanish flu was I think it was in 1920, and the similarities on how the public reacted were ridiculous. So it shows that in 100 years, we have not went anywhere when it comes to science. People still don't get it or understand or give a fuck about understanding. 100 years. They call it the Spanish flu because that was the name that came out of it, because everybody was telling people that's where it was coming from, Spain. Even though Spain was not the place that it came from. People were against masks in 1920, so there was a big push that they didn't want to wear masks because they didn't think that it would work from spreading the disease. So people were anti-mask. They tried to have people stay at home. People were mad. They didn't want to hear that. All the problems that we had in 2020, we had the same shit in 1920. We haven't moved anywhere when it comes to intellectual ability when it comes to science. It's bad, man. So RFK Jr., he shot back saying, "You're wrong. The things got hotter." He claimed no clinical data supported COVID vaccine recommendations for healthy people, despite ample scientific evidence to the contrary. And when asked about deaths prevented by vaccines, he shrugged it off, blaming data chaos. Meanwhile, independent scientists have consistently affirmed the safety and effectiveness of vaccines. So you think all these doctors all across the fucking world got together and did this conspiracy to say that it's safe, even though it isn't. All these companies across the world, they're all saying it's safe. They're all doing what they can, and you're trying to say it's fake. You know, like I said, man, I understand the healthcare system rips off a lot of people, and it's way too expensive. And sometimes people don't get the outcomes that they want when it comes to healthcare.
But you don't see them up in arms when it comes to things like car insurance. When car insurance is just as expensive as health insurance.
Hey, man, I don't understand it. It's just the system when it comes to healthcare. People just aren't. They're just against it, man. They're just against it. And like I said, sometimes I get it. But if we don't trust our system and our healthcare, we're going to get bad outcomes. If we don't hold them to a high level, we're going to get bad outcomes. Mm-hmm. We can't just sit around and just throw out conspiracy theories. Let's do real trials. How many trials have RFK had? How many people have he tested that had the vaccine? 0. What have he done to prove what he's saying? Nothing. All these other people have went out, took their time, put in tests, trials, subjects, and they're finding that the vaccine was effective. So all these people sitting around saying it wasn't and it killed people, you have no proof to the contrary ever, and you've never pushed any. Now, former CDC chiefs and staff, they strike back. But the pushback didn't stop at the Senate floor. 9 former CDC directors penned a scathing New York Times op-ed warning that Kennedy's political interference and anti-vaccine rhetoric are endangering Americans' health.
You're absolutely right. On top of that, hundreds of CDC staff went public in protest after Monarez's ouster.
Mm-hmm.
Leaders like Dimitri Daskalaskis called Kennedy's leadership an existential threat. to public health and described the workplace as increasingly chaotic and anti-science.
Now, we saw the videos already of Florida pushing that they're going to rewrite vaccine policy. And this is very dangerous, man. This is tough. In the parallel meltdown, Florida has decided to ditch all vaccine mandates for children entering schools, putting other children in danger. At a press conference, we did heard them alongside DeSantis and Surgeon General Dr. Joseph Ladapo said that vaccine mandates are oppressive, likening them to slavery. What a joke.
Right. But let's be clear here. The name of that official is Dr. Joseph Ladapo, Florida's Surgeon General. He publicly declared that every last one of them is wrong and drips with disdain and slavery.
They love to put black people up there that says something about slavery. I swear, boy. Anything to downplay slavery. Medical experts have sounded the alarm. Dr. William Schaffner called Florida's move shameful, warning that repealing mandates will likely lead to resurgence of preventable diseases like measles, mumps, chicken pox, polio. Public health leaders broadly say this could spark outbreaks of deadly preventable diseases, like I said. And this is from the Washington Post. They said this. So what do we have here? A Secretary of Health dismissing evidence, fanning chaos, and firing experts, while one of his top appointees in Florida compares public health safeguards to slavery and opens the door to outbreaks affecting our most vulnerable people.
That's not leadership. That's just a reckless assault on public safety, if you ask me. Families deserve better than ideological theatrics masquerading around as freedom. They deserve sound science, clear guidance, and true protection.
Man, it's sad to see the government turning its back against something that has kept us safe for decades. COVID-19 restrictions and vaccine impact should not be the outcome of this. But we've seen this since about 2000 that more and more people are going anti-vaccination. Man, that's your business. But I do not think that the mandates should be removed, because school is one of the more disgusting areas where nothing but sickness just lives. It replicates in schools. You know, when you send your kids, they come home with snotty noses because kids, they're touching everything, hands in their mouth. They just, they're kids.
All the germs.
And they're going to say that there no vaccines? I mean, it's crazy. So now let's talk about the elephant in the room, COVID-19, man. Under RFK Jr.'s leadership, restrictions and guidance have been rolled back in ways that many public health experts warn could leave us vulnerable to future outbreaks.
Let's think back a little bit here. Masking, social distancing, school closures. Of course, they weren't easy, but they slowed down the spread. Without those restrictions, hospitals would have collapsed. Lives would have been lost at an even greater scale than what we've already seen.
Exactly. And then came the vaccines. Let's be clear. Despite all the conspiracy theories, COVID-19 vaccines saved millions of lives, according to a peer-reviewed study. Do you hear that, RFK? A peer-reviewed study. Something you need to have to prove what you're trying to say. You have a hypothesis, you need to fucking prove it. You do that by doing studies and trials. You're not doing anything but running your mouth. These people did a peer-reviewed study. Vaccinations prevented over 3 million deaths in the U.S. alone. By the end of 2022, globally, that number jumps up to 20 million people. 20 million lives saved in the first year of vaccine rollout, period.
That's a lot. That's not abstract. That's grandparents, parents, children who are alive today because Guess what? Science worked.
That's real.
And yet RFK Jr. has stood on a national stage and downplayed its reality, claiming that he hasn't seen evidence that vaccines have actually saved lives.
Oh my God.
But he's been in office for 8 months and has not requested to see any of the data.
Any of the data. Haven't looked at no numbers at all. Dude's playing politics with y'all lives, man. Our lives. He hasn't looked at the numbers. They asked him, hey, what was the numbers? Can you tell us? Can you run down what you saw? What? Are you kidding me? You don't even know the numbers?
Nope, they don't.
Like, dog, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. And y'all all trying to play like this dude gives up. He doesn't care.
At all.
Shut the fuck up, bro. Like, the data is undeniable. The CDC, independent researchers, and journals like the Lancet all confirm that vaccines have reduced hospitalizations, deaths, and provided a pathway back to a normal life that we all are living now, and we didn't have back in 2021 and 2020.
Mm-hmm. And yet here we are with the health secretary who not only doubts the science, but actively reshapes policy to reflect his own doubts. That means that fewer people are protected, more confusion at the pharmacy, and ultimately more preventable deaths.
That's what it's going to be. And we all know it. Well, all of those people who understand how science and disease spread. The rest of these people who think everything is just by, I don't know, happenstance or God just gives it to you. I don't know what these people think. But restrictions of vaccines weren't perfect. It's not perfect, bro. But this is the science that we have. Rolling the dice and going raw without vaccinations is, to me, it's your choice. But to me, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know the history of how kids were dying. You would not laugh at these things. But hey, man, like I said, everybody has their own opinion when it comes to these things. But I just think it's crazy to remove the mandates. You're gonna have to go to a school that accepts people that don't take vaccines. So restriction of vaccines weren't perfect, like I said, but they worked. To erase the truth now is dangerous. Mm-hmm. It's a dangerous act of revisionism. And it's playing out in real time, man. We're seeing this shit happen every day. Everyone's trying to rewrite history. Mm-hmm. It's magnificently stupid.
It is.
And we want to thank you all, you know what I'm saying, for talking to us with this, even the people who are crazy and insane. But we'll talk about this more in the upcoming weeks and keep you guys updated on what's going on, man.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share the feed, especially with everyone who still believes that public health is worth protecting.
And the people
the
people who understand what public health is. The people that understand the responsibility of your health when you're going out in public. The responsibility to make sure that you're not spreading disease. All of us have learned how to live around each other. You see how they teach you how to cover your nose when you sneeze? Mm-hmm. You see how they teach you how to wash your hands when you go to the bathroom? These are all things that are public health that are pushed to try to help not spread disease. Because disease being spread is all these things we've learned over decades and centuries. People were learning things. They're learning things too, that we have to be cleaner. That sneezing spreads disease. We didn't know that at one time.
Sneezing, coughing,
right? And
all that.
With all these things, we've taught how to be able to be a good person in public and not spread disease. And today we have people who are using their what they're supposed to be doing right to do wrong. I don't understand. You don't want to make sure that your neighbor doesn't get measles? You don't care about them? They keep saying I'm fear mongering, but I'm saying to use the system that is put in place to try to save people. You're the ones that's fear mongering by saying that the people who are trying to save you are trying to kill you. That's fear mongering, you idiots. That's what it's. You are the ones that are fear mongering. You are telling people that you take that vaccination, it's going to kill you. That's fear mongering, dog. I'm telling you that they're trying to save you. No, some people may get bad outcomes on some of these things. It's not experimental, man. They had many tests on people before it was released. It's not experimental. They didn't experiment on us. But that's the type of shit your job putting out. That's fear mongering. Fear mongering. So next we're going to discuss how Trump has dismantled the Republican Party and how he's destroying their future prospects and how we have just, man, Republicans have lost their mind. Mm-hmm. It used to be a time where we can look up this. I don't have to look up the Tuskegee experiment from 1930. I understand what Tuskegee is.
Thank you for calling Habari Live.
What's up?
Hey, are y'all still talking about the health issues?
Yeah, we're still talking about it. Yeah, most definitely. What's up?
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what you want to discuss about it.
Well, you called in. You can discuss whatever you want to discuss about it.
Well, are you saying that MAGA doesn't believe, or people on the right doesn't believe in vaccination?
Yes, that's their stance. They don't believe in vaccinations. They think that they're causing autism, and they think that they're trying to kill people. That's their stance.
Well, I think the thing about trying to kill people is a little bit far out there. I mean, there may be a few that say that, mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't believe that. But
tell us what you think.
Well, what I think is the measles vaccination works. Mm-hmm. The polio,
it definitely did.
All these that we've took, our whole lives, they work. They've been proven to work.
Yes, they have.
But the mRNA is a new platform, mm-hmm. which I don't even understand all the stuff that goes into it. But it's a new platform that hasn't been proven to work. Mm-hmm. It does work. That the COVID vaccine, when it was first introduced, it was mm-hmm. for the first strain, and it did work, and it helped millions of people stay alive. Mm-hmm. But after that, I think it was too hard to keep up with the new strains, so they were still given an old vaccine for a new strain, and it wasn't working anymore.
I mean,
and that's what I believe.
Right. But we are out of the COVID vaccine. Do you believe we just were able to get out of the vaccine? I mean, the COVID-19 issues just naturally?
No. I think it still helps people that are, that have other diseases, have other comorbidities is mm-hmm. what they call it. And I think it helps people that are older.
Yeah.
Young, healthy people do not need it. I'm 52 years old. I do not need it.
I don't know, man.
I'm not overweight. I don't have any other health issues. Yeah. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I've never had it.
I have to agree with you. I lost a friend. He did have some issues when it came to his health. But,
right.
I wish that he lived long enough to get the vaccine. I don't know 100% if it would have helped him. But, mm-hmm. The fact that so many other people, and we were able to get back to a normal life really in a quick manner once that vaccine came out. Now, there is some drawbacks. I do agree with you guys. There are drawbacks. It isn't perfect, and we stated that. But I do believe that it did slow the spread, and it helped to fight off COVID. And like I said, you guys have to understand that COVID-19 is not new. COVID was not new. If you look at anything, it's been around for years and decades. And they've been working on this vaccination for a long time. It's not like these tests came out of nowhere. They were working on this for a while.
Right. Just the way they deliver it was new.
Right. Exactly. And
And they did not know, they didn't know how that was going to affect everybody. And people are not going to be the same.
Right.
With a vaccine. They're not going to be the same. I don't care what kind of vaccine it is.
No,
people are going to react differently, but they were trying to mandate that everybody in the world has to have it. And it's not that way. And
that's what upset people. People don't like mandates. They don't like being told what they have to do. They don't like that. But when I looked at it as we're a community and we're all trying to get back to a normal life where we can go back outside and be around each other. And to me, that was more important than making a stance of you can't make me do this.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Before the mandate, like I had gotten COVID, right? The first strain, I got COVID, and which it made me a little sick. But the main thing is I couldn't taste and I couldn't smell for about 3 weeks, and it was during Thanksgiving that year, and it was awful, because I couldn't taste my food or nothing. But after that, I had immunity. I had some immunity to COVID.
Definitely.
And really the third time I got it was the third strain, which was supposed to be an easier strain. I got more sick that time, but I still was able to work my way through it, with my system, because like I said, I'm healthy and younger, and not everybody has to have the vaccine. I had immunity. It's not like I knew when I got sick, I didn't need to go outside. If I had a fever, I didn't need to go run around Walmart. People know that. And if they do that, I mean, that's them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just the type of person they are. But most people, and I'm talking about on the right, on the left, it doesn't matter. Most people use their common sense not to go and spread the disease.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff about RFK not believing in vaccines. Sure, he believes in vaccines. He says he did. He even says that the warp speed was wonderful, that it was a great thing that he did. And it saved millions of lives. Like I said, it did. Especially when the first strain was going around the world.
Yeah.
But you cannot force people to take that vaccine.
No, I mean
especially babies, kids, healthy people do not need it.
But the problem is this, though. Even we, like, I work in an office,
right?
And we all work in offices. And if one person gets sick in the office, how quickly does it take for the other people in the same office to get sick?
It's probably about a week, because my mom did. Exactly. My mom is over 70 years old.
So that's the reason why
happened about a month ago.
That's the reason why they was pushing the mandates, because you want to try to get people healthy.
Most vaccines work in a way where you don't get the disease.
No.
That's like vaccine. Oh, yes.
No, that's
not
true.
If you get the measles vaccine, that doesn't keep you from getting measles.
No, it doesn't. Not in most of those diseases, yes. But when it comes to the flu, it's not like that, because the strains are always changing.
They're considered live vaccines.
So it may be a different strain next time when it comes out and you get it. So it's always updating. That's the thing with those. When it comes to measles, it's straight. They can give you something and keep you from getting it, chicken pox and things like that. Those things are pretty much cured.
Why would I take a COVID vaccine when another strain's coming around?
Well, you want to try to make sure
strain is coming.
I get your point on that. But let's make sure that we get rid of, that we have the ability to at least try to fight off the next strain. We don't know what the next strain might be. It may be something that's more powerful than we thinking it's going to be. But the scientists every year, and the doctors, they try to come out with a vaccine that they believe is going to be the strain that's going to come out that fall or winter. So they try to give people that shot so they can be able to fight that off. And sometimes they can be incorrect, but a lot of people feel comfortable with these shots.
So do they mandate the flu shot?
Not every year, only when it gets to a pandemic level like it did before.
But here's the caveat to that. When you work in healthcare, for example, if you work in a hospital facility or a nursing home facility, those particular facilities may mandate and require that you do get the flu vaccine every year.
Every year.
So that way you're not getting the elderly sick in those environments,
Right.
or the young children that may be in a hospital setting.
Right.
Okay, well, here's the difference between the flu and the COVID. Is the flu vaccine is actual vaccine that we're used to.
Right.
That they give you a little bit of the live disease, right? And you fight it off, and you build immunity to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but some
The
people don't.
mRNA is going in and changing whatever it is. It changes. Anyway, it delivers it differently to your body than regular vaccines. And until they can even realize what's happening with the mRNA vaccines, I'm not taking it. I mean, unless I'm older and they still don't know, then, I might need it to protect me. If I'm older, a little more unhealthy or whatever.
Yeah,
but until then, my own system can fight it off.
Well, when it comes to those vaccines, you have that option. I think that we should get them. But you have that option when it comes to COVID, because right now we're not in that situation we were in a few years ago. So I don't get the flu shot every year. I'm not going to sit here and say that I do when I don't, because I don't get it every year. You know what I'm saying? Some people who work in certain places, they have to get it every year.
Right.
But if it's a situation where I'm feeling, though, for public health situations, I would go get it. And I did go get it when it came to COVID because how it was spreading. But I don't go get it every year because I don't get the flu every year. And I do understand people being a little skeptic of those things because you can't mandate or make me do anything, and people don't like that. But I understand your view. I appreciate you calling. What was your name again?
My name's Tanya.
Thank you, Tanya. I appreciate you calling in, and you have a good rest of your day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate Tanya calling in. And, like I said, man, people are not going to always agree. And we don't always agree on everything, man. And like I said, I don't always go get all of the flu shots every year, but only time I did is when it was COVID, because I felt as though I had a responsibility to society, a responsibility to the other people that I work around. So that's a different situation. And my job was telling, hey, if you want to come here, some people lost their jobs because we work in close quarters. And you can't just be coughing all over each other and not have the ability to fight these antibodies off. So let's go into the next one here, man. And we want to talk about how... Oh, goodness.
Thank you for calling Habari Live.
Hello. What's your name?
My name?
Yes.
My name is Aaron.
Aaron, how you doing today?
What's your name, bro?
My name is Damon.
Daniel? So yeah, just wanted to call because I see you guys kind of pushing some stuff with no context. So I'm in there trying to give context, but moderators over here talking mess. So I guess let's cover. You guys want to talk about Ukraine and Russia?
You want to talk about Ukraine? How do you feel about Ukraine?
Well, I wanted to get into some context about stuff regarding all that. So I wanted to bring up the revolution of dignity is what they called it. Back in 2013 and 2014.
Okay.
When it brought up that, supposedly Russia invaded Ukraine.
In 2014?
Yep, 2013, 2014, the annexation happened, but before that.
Are you talking about Crimea?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about Crimea?
I have it right here. And
I can barely hear you. Can you get closer to your speaker or something? or turn up your volume. I have mine on max and I still can't hear you.
Is that better? Hello?
Yeah, that's a little better.
All right.
So you were talking about the Crimea War and Ukraine. Do you feel as though
Yeah,
that?
the revolution of dignity. We have it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. In November 2013, the wave of large-scale protests known as Euromaidan began in response to President Yanukovych's decision not to sign a political association free trade agreement with the European Union. Instead, choosing closer ties to Russia. Ooh. Euromaidan soon developed into. Okay, so this is talking about that. Russia had pressure Ukraine to reject it. The so-called widened with all the resignation of Yanukovych and the Azarov government. Protesters opposed this installed
Damien.
as widespread government corruption and abuse of power. The influence of Russia and oligarchs, politicized human rights violations and repressive anti-protest. A large barricaded protest camp occupied Independence Square in central Kiev throughout the Maidan uprising. In January and February of 2014, clashes between protests and boycott federal rights police resulted in the death of 8 protesters,
Yeah.
the wounding of many others.
I'm still
All right. So this happened, right?
right.
So then move on to let's pull this up to.
We still having a hard time hearing you, brother. I don't know if it's your phone or your speaker, but we're having a hard time.
Might be the phone.
Yeah.
I've dropped this apple a couple of times.
Yeah. So are you for Ukraine? Are you what's your position on it? Are you for America helping Ukraine?
Honestly, my whole point of bringing it up is the spin, I guess, from relatively both sides.
Mm-hmm.
On the left leaning side, you have it being as in like, oh, they're placating to Russia, this, that, and the other, and whatever.
Right.
And then on the right, I mean, they're just, I mean, it makes sense, I guess, the argument they're trying to give, like, oh, people are dying, we should stop the war. That's true, but they're not bringing no context.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know why this happened, and then following the context of the annexation of Crimea, why the UN and NATO haven't recognized it, and that's basically what's going on with that. Their lack of recognizing the annexation is what's causing all this. Not literally, but more of like, that soft power shit people like to talk. Sorry for that.
Mm-hmm.
That soft power stuff people like to complain about. So my question is, why? Why are they doing this? Why are they framing it as in Russia being a bad person or bad people when they got this shit going on at their borders? Obviously, they're going to want to deal with it in a certain way. And then also the lack of talking about the deal that Ukraine had with Russia and the stipulation in them stating that they wouldn't try to join NATO,
Mm-hmm.
but yet they still tried many times. They officially actually applied to NATO 3 times, but before that, they were always trying to join.
Man,
why not bring that up too?
I really don't understand why Russia's so adamant on being upset that Ukraine is joining NATO, or any other country that used to be a part of the USSR is joining NATO. Like, to have NATO as your neighbors, to them is a automatic war. If NATO hasn't done anything to you, and these countries need protection, because that's the only reason they're trying to join NATO, is because they know that Russia may try to take them over. So they're trying to get the power to be able to fight them off. And they don't like that. To me, that's a lot of people say that. Oh, they're going close. NATO's getting close to them. Has NATO tried to take over Russia? Have they invaded Russia?
No,
what is it that they're doing? That's
going into Russia though. Right there, that's another. what's the term used? I had looked it up a while ago. Like it's like there's no reasoning for that point to be brought up. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The issue is if Ukraine did join, because they do have their pipeline going through Ukraine, NATO would have a say because it's in their territory on what they can and can't do with that.
I mean, but
So why isn't that brought up?
We understand what Russia is trying to do, and what they're trying to do is build back the USSR. That's what they're trying to do.
I mean, I guess you could say that. You could say that. But I mean, let's be real. Do you really think they have the capacity for that? It isn't the left always saying like, oh, they should worry about themselves. They got their people in poverty and this, that, and the other. But yet I hear, not from you, by the way, from everybody, I hear that same point. So where does that make sense? How does that make sense? You see what I'm saying? Like there's a contradiction.
To me, I stood on the side of helping Ukraine and doing as much as you can to help them, because we promised we would protect them if they gave up their nuclear weapons. And we have not done that. Now we're promising Poland that we're going to help them. And I believe if they're next, we're not going to help them either. We're not keeping to our promises. And that's the number one thing. If the country promises that we're going to do something, if you do this, we can't renege on that promise. And that's what we are doing as a country.
If you want to talk about promises, and what about the deals that Ukraine set up with Russia? They set up those deals themselves. They accepted those stipulations. So why is it like we're supposed to uphold this like promise thing or whatever you're trying to argue? And I mean, I understand that, right? Promises are important,
mm-hmm.
But then also there's context, right? Like if you promise somebody to always help them, but they're always calling you for help when, like, you know, it hits the fan, right?
Right.
What do you think they're using you for?
I mean,
like, it's understandable. It's a good thing to want to do that, but then at some point you do have to say, like, no, right?
Right. I don't know, man. I'm just not foreseeing the USSR come back. We know how big of an enemy they were, pushing communism everywhere.
That's the talking point. We don't know if they are. Maybe they have said it that they're trying to. And again, we don't know if this is related to that. I am pulling up stuff that has happened in regards to like history, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But if anything, I'm just questioning the framing of it.
Yeah,
we can pull this up. We have this stuff readily available.
Yeah, most definitely.
But yet the framing from media on both sides brings up nothing in relation to what history provides, as in like as far as context, you know.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I mean that. Also, I mean, on the vaccines too. Like, I mean, they did say herd immunity wasn't possible with COVID, and then they also said that if you got the shot, you would be immune, and
Mm-hmm.
that you wouldn't spread.
No one said you're going to be immune.
Contrary to what scientists gave.
That's incorrect.
Told us regarding how vaccines work.
That's incorrect, though. No one said. If anyone said that, they were incorrect. You don't get immunity. It does not stop you from getting the COVID. It never stopped them.
Right. That was pushed on us. That's why the fear mongering worked to the point that companies started pushing that on their employees.
No, they pushed on their employees that they wanted
legislation from the government to push the vaccine on their people. But the fear mongering pushed by, I mean, I don't know where it came from. We know it was the media saying this,
Mm-hmm.
right? And everybody ran with it. The whole trusted science stuff as well, while ignoring previous years of like findings and stuff. Like, why didn't we look back to the original SARS-CoV virus in relation to SARS-CoV-2? Now, granted, they might not be exactly the same.
Right. They're different.
We can still pull some type of information from that. Right?
I mean, you can pull data. You can pull data on how it was spread, but if it's a different variant and a totally different disease, then no, it doesn't really give you much on what you need to create a vaccine for.
It could be totally different. It doesn't mean it is totally different.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it could be totally different.
They couldn't get as many tests done as they wanted to when it came to COVID. but they still were able to do trials to make sure that this was clinically ready. They didn't get to do the clinical trials that they wanted to, but they were able to do many different vaccine candidates from various companies underwent their own set of clinical trials, which typically consist of 3 or 4 phases. Each vaccine was rigorously tested and before being authorized or approved for use. So it's this notion that they were just pushing out something that was not tested is just not true. And there was a lot of things that were coming out.
Not being tested at all. It was about how far they tested it.
They
Now,
couldn't
let's talk
test
about
it
warp
as
speed
much as they want to test the things because we were in a pandemic. So usually they would test longer, but we were in the middle of a problem. So we needed to hurry up and get it out. So it didn't do as many tests as it usually would have.
That is a valid point. That could be something that's true. But let's look at Project Warp Speed, what it did exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
It gave more funding to these companies so they could run testing phases side by side instead of back to back.
Right.
For
right.
one.
For speed.
And then it also got rid of the red tape for them to have to go through these processes to get more funding. So now the question is, how much did they decide was enough to test?
Hey, well, like I said, I mean, it's to me, I'm trusting that these guys were doing what they were supposed to do, and the trials that they were putting, the hundreds of trials that they were doing themselves, were enough to make sure that this was good. And looking at how we are living now and going back to normal, it looks like it worked, from my perspective.
Yeah, in hindsight, I mean, you could say that, but then also with the stuff that's come out, I mean, what about the findings that vitamin D helps with COVID? Huh? What about the findings that rebreathing your air particles with the mask keeps you sick long? What about that?
I mean, we would need to see I would need to see the studies and the science behind that.
That's fine. You can look into it, but those things did come out. There are many things that need to be updated as far as remedies for that too.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. I appreciate you calling in. It's Aaron, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Yeah, give us a call back, bro. We'll keep talking about this, but we're running low on the show. We got another caller coming in.
No worries, buddy.
All right, I appreciate you, Aaron. For sure.
Bye-bye.
All right, man. So let's move this on. So we got brother. I appreciate him from coming in, calling in, and talking a little bit, man, about how he feels about a couple things. But let's get into this real fast, man. We want to talk about what's going on with the Republican Party right now, and how gears are shifting with them. And we're going to just get onto some more politics here today. We're asking: is Donald Trump destroying the Republican Party? The GOP, once the party of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, has in the 21st century become the party of exclusion, white nationalism, and authoritarianism. The party is nothing what you would think it would be back in the days of Reagan, even in the days of Bush. We have totally did a 180 compared to what those things were and used to be at those times. So the Republican Party was founded as an anti-slavery party. After the Civil War, nearly 2,000 black officials were elected during Reconstruction under the GOP banner. But the 1960s came and the party's identity shifted. That shift was deliberate. Oh my goodness. Stop it. That shift was deliberate. The infamous Southern strategy is what they call it. GOP strategists weaponized racial resentment against civil rights progress. They learned. If you call and give us a few moments here, we're going to try to get through this story. We only got a few moments. Weaponized racial resentments against civil rights progress. They learned to avoid explicit slurs, replacing them with coded language like states' rights and law and order. Welfare queens. Lee Atwater, one of their own strategists, openly admitted that give us a few moments and we'll take another call. That the goal was to hurt Black communities while making the rhetoric more palatable for white voters. And that cynical strategy planted the seeds for what we see today. By the time Trump came along, the GOP was primed for his brand of white grievance politics. The so-called party of Lincoln is now the party of intolerance, voter suppression, and culture wars.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. But Trump's remaking the GOP. Donald Trump remade the GOP in his own image completely.
Mm-hmm.
Corruption and plunder through corporate tax giveaways and grifting. Catocracy ruled by the least qualified, the most corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
And white nationalism elevated from the fringe to the mainstream. But under Trump's leadership, Republicans have lost their way. They no longer have a positive governing vision, and it's grievance politics that conspiracy theories and tearing down institutions.
Thanks for calling Habari Live. What's your name?
Hey, this is Tanya. I had to call you back on this.
How you doing, Tanya? What's up?
Look, what were you reading? What the little introduction you gave? What were you reading out of? Where did that come from? Because I know, obviously that wasn't something you were thinking because you were reading it.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
When you were talking about what the Republican Party had become, what it was, what it had become.
I'm reading my teleprompter, but these are words that I put on my teleprompter.
Okay, so you did put it on there.
Most
that was your writing, right?
Most def.
Okay, so you think that the Republican Party is exclusionary, is just white people? That's it.
No, it's not 100% all white people, but it's definitely about 88 to 85% white. So yeah, it's majority white.
Okay, well, you know what? We would take every color in the rainbow if they want to become a Republican member. That's fine with us.
Right.
But we would be happy with everybody becoming conservative.
Mm-hmm.
But not even, I really don't even call myself a Republican, but I'm conservative.
Right.
And the Republican Party were the ones that passed the civil rights laws.
No, they did not.
Yes, sir. They did.
No, they did not.
It was the Republican Party in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
It was majority. We had a Democrat
Are you
president.
talking about the first civil rights laws that
were
passed?
I'm talking about all of them.
The ones from the 60s? Because the ones from the 60s were Lyndon B. Johnson, who was a Democrat.
Yes, he signed it. That's right. But guess who was in the majority in Congress?
But that's not what matters. What matters is the person who signed it.
What matters. Those are the people that write the laws.
Mm-hmm.
They pass them, and then either the president signs them or he vetoes them.
But the problem
one
is
or the other.
That the Republican Party decided when they started going with Barry Goldwater and the Southern strategy, they started to ostracize Black people, and that was the way that they wanted to go.
No, it was the whatever it was, the great. Whenever Lyndon Johnson said he would have Black people voting for him,
he was correct.
More years.
He was right, because if he signed that bill,
I know he was right.
Yeah,
because a lot of people. A lot of people needed help then, because we were coming out of the civil rights era, and people were just starting out and needed a lot more help.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed the father out of the household. Please don't tell me you don't believe that, because it's absolutely true.
A lot of people believe
even with
that.
Poor white,
mm-hmm.
Even with the poor white people, they pushed the father out of the household.
Right.
That's one of the major problems today is families not staying together.
And
having that foundation
mm-hmm.
of family. If we had that foundation more and more and more in white families, Black families, Asian, it doesn't matter. If we had that foundation more,
mm-hmm.
I think our country would be in a lot better place right now than it is. Our kids, these kids coming up now, I mean, mine are in their 30s, but, you know, they still have a little bit of issues, but they wasn't on pills and Prozac or antidepressants.
Well, that's good.
You know, ADHD medicine. They wasn't on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got 4. So
I mean,
2 boys, 2 girls. So, I mean, we should have one on something, but we didn't because we disciplined our kids. We taught them values.
Mm-hmm.
So
values are important to you?
That you still say that the conservative party just wants white people.
No, you just
when
raise
we picked
the
up more
party.
Black people, when we picked up more Hispanic people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why you think that.
I mean, it's just, you can only go off their actions. When you're seeing that DEI is their biggest problem, where they're blaming Black people from getting jobs and saying that's the reason why the economy is bad.
Because DEI pushes the fact that if you've got two white and 2 people of color or whatever,
yeah,
you know, Hispanic, Black, Asian, whatever, then, you know, and they all have the same qualifications, well, you need to hire the 2 people of color.
Right. No, that's not how DEI.
How is that fair? How is that right?
That's not how DEI works. Only thing DEI is saying is that the Black people will get the same amount of chance to get hired as the white people.
They already have the chance.
No, that's not true. Then why are our numbers when it comes to unemployment always higher? Is it because we're just lazy?
I don't know.
We've all seen this.
We've all seen the studies. I'm not saying that Black people are lazy. I don't go around saying stuff like that. Y'all are the ones going around saying that we are racist, that we just like white people. Y'all are the ones that push the hate and division. I don't go around saying Black people are lazy. I have no idea why they're higher as far as unemployment. It might be because there's more Blacks in these, like in Detroit, right?
Right.
That is a selling city, so they're going to have higher unemployment there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the reason.
Well, have you ever seen the studies?
Maybe because of Democrat policies in these large Black cities that fail the Black people that live there, and that's why unemployment between Black people is higher.
Well, the
How
governor.
about that? How about not saying everybody's racist?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when you're pushing policies that are anti-Black, you're going to get called racist.
The Democrats push policies that are anti-Black because the Democrats
are
running.
Majority.
What about Chicago?
What about Chicago? It's a lovely place. It's a lovely city.
Right.
With less crime than Arkansas.
The black on black killing that's going on in Chicago.
I don't think about the white on white killing that's going on in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
And does it compare to Chicago?
There are cities that are much worse that are in red states, definitely. And I can name them
that
all.
Are black, that are Democrat run.
It doesn't matter if you are
mayor.
Let's
talk about a city in my state, Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham is horrible. Horrible
crime. And it's run by a Democrat.
Right.
That's the mayor.
That's the mayor.
Not the governor.
Exactly.
Who makes the decisions? Who picks the
local government runs the city.
Hey, who has the control of the Congress in that state? Republicans.
The Republicans do.
Who have the control of the Senate in that state?
City. The local government runs the city.
Local government
has gaslight people.
Local
Don't try to gaslight people.
Local government only have local power. The governor has the power to send out funds to build schools. The mayor does not have that power.
The mayor proposes a budget for the city. The governor approves that budget for the city.
Yes, the city approves their budget. Whatever money they bring into that city, they approve that budget.
So I'm going to put it simple for you this way. You have a workplace, right? Okay, so in a workplace, there is a chain of command, correct?
Yes, it is. It sure is.
Therefore,
they have to follow Alabama state laws.
Okay.
And they have to follow Alabama
Miss Tanya.
Constitution.
You
can recognize that they have in that city are Democrat run.
Okay, so
everything is local. Everything is local.
Okay, Miss Tanya.
The state set policies.
So you recognize that in a place of business, there is a chain of command.
Sure is.
In a government setting, there is also a chain of command. The mayor reports to the governor.
Yep.
So the governor is telling the mayor what to do, is approving the mayor's actions.
You're gaslighting people. You're not. You don't understand.
So
it
the
if
mayor,
you really believe that.
So the mayor
can
is
do
not
whatever
under
he
the
wants to.
governor?
He's not held to any standards from the governor and what the governor is
I
put in
just told
place
you
for
what
the
she was
state.
held to, the state laws and the state constitution.
Who's responsible for upholding those state laws?
I'm sorry?
Who's responsible for upholding those state laws? Is it the mayor or is it the governor?
The governor.
Okay, so the governor is responsible for all the budgets and the fiscal responsibilities for the state of Alabama, not the mayor. Not the mayor. The mayor is not putting in any laws in place.
Not for city funds.
City funds are approved by the state.
Is it not a city in the state?
Approved by the state.
Is it not a city in the state?
Right.
It's a city in that
So
state.
if Birmingham is a city within the state, if
you're full of
Birmingham,
crap. You know you're full of it because you're screaming at me.
No, I'm not screaming at you. I'm trying to speak and you're over speaking me.
Just take turns talking.
No, I'm not.
What I'm saying is that the governor is the boss of the mayor. The mayor, just like in any place of business, is going to go to their boss and say, hey, boss, this is what I'm proposing. No. This is what we need for our city. No. The governor is going to say yay or nay on that proposal. No, so if the governor says yay, then the mayor says this is our budget for the year.
And also
for our city.
The governor can take over those cities anytime they want to. If the governor wants to take over the cities, take over the police force, he can. If he want to take over the budget, he can. He can take over that city.
The mayor
if he
doesn't
feels
have
as
that,
though
have
the
that
city is not running the way that he wants it to go, he can go in and take over. They're doing it right now in St. Louis.
Do that in Illinois.
I'm sorry.
Why do you not want somebody to come in and help people to stop dying?
Well, the problem is with Trump's plan is that a temporary fix is not going to help longevity crime stopping in the city. You bring in the National Guard for 29 days, it's not going to be fix it forever. So you need to come with.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But it will come in. It will bring some peace to that community, and they can work on what they can do to help stop the crime.
Well,
you know what's going to help stop that crime?
Yeah.
Jobs,
Opportunity,
opportunity,
right?
Giving these people a home.
I agree.
Things
but
that
until
reduce
you get the crime under control, you will not have opportunity. You will not have businesses coming to Chicago to give people jobs, to help them out. You will not have that until you have crime under control.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Crime has to get in control. But Chicago, this is an issue in the South End and other West Side Chicago. Other areas of Chicago are fine. They don't deal with all that stuff. There's a couple bad areas in Chicago that gives the whole city a bad name. And we just attach ourselves to that. When we have Republican cities.
People shot in one area. I don't care if it's around the block. 80 people shot in a weekend is absolutely mind-blowing to me.
Give me an answer to this. This is something I want to ask conservatives. Okay. Why is black on black crime such an issue for you when we have little kids being shot up in schools
in Minneapolis
and those things,
Sandy Hook?
Stopping those things is not a big subject to the Republican
We just send
Party.
thoughts and prayers.
Why is it that Chicago is being talked about every day, but we can't figure out how to keep these kids from going in and shooting up schools? Shouldn't that be more of the focus instead of worrying about what's going on in the hood in Chicago?
Okay, first of all, it's almost on a daily basis in Chicago. Okay, but the kids' school shooting is absolutely a priority to me, and I believe
it definitely
that we should put an armed guard at every school and have everybody walk through a metal detector when they come into school.
Yeah.
So you want the schools to feel like a prison?
Yeah, that's what they want.
That's not a prison.
When you go to a prison facility to visit your loved ones, when you go to a jailhouse to visit your loved ones, the first thing that you do is walk through a metal detector.
What's wrong with that?
It's the same. It's exactly what you're suggesting for a school, Miss Tanya. Put a metal detector
what's wrong with that. What's wrong with that to keep the kids safe?
I wouldn't want to come up in the area that made me feel like we're living in a war zone.
Exactly.
So the mission
Walking
is to
through a metal detector.
Yeah.
It does not make you feel comfortable.
You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me. So what do you want to do?
Little kids shouldn't have to go through metal detectors. What do I say we do? Stop letting everybody get their hands on guns. Stop letting everybody in the world get their hands on guns. Stop relaxing the gun laws.
All right, but wait a minute. So if everybody gave their guns to the government, right? Everybody gave their guns up.
Right.
Do you think the criminals are going to get their guns up?
If we stop the flow of guns, criminals won't have guns to even get their hands on.
Do you know how criminals get access? Do you know how criminals get their hands onto firearms?
They steal them. Yeah.
Okay, so who are they stealing these firearms from?
People that are legally able to have them.
There you go.
So if they don't have guns, then the criminals won't have guns.
So if the people who are legally able to have them don't have them.
Wait a minute. We're not starting from zero. We're not starting from zero. We're starting from 400 million.
I know.
Right, but your question was,
how are we supposed to do that?
Right, but here's your question. Your question was, if
they're
everybody,
not going to sell their guns.
If everyone gave their gun back to the government.
Kids.
Right.
How would criminals not have access to them? The rebuttal question was, how do criminals get access to these guns? Your response is that criminals are stealing these firearms from law-abiding citizens. So if
that are trying to protect themselves and their family from criminals that already have guns.
If it was harder for law-abiding citizens to obtain a firearm, it would be harder for a criminal to have access to one. Correct?
How about putting the criminals in jail?
They already are. Do you know that America has the most people locked up in the world?
Well,
it's not helping. It's not helping. We're locking up more people in the world, and on the back end, we're still having more crimes than other countries. We're locking up more people and getting up worse outcomes. I think
the biggest thing is mental health.
So why is Donald Trump making it harder for people to access mental health by getting rid of Medicare, Medicaid, and mental health services?
Right.
He's not getting rid of Medicare.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he just did. His big beautiful bill
just got rid of $900 million from Medicare and Medicaid.
Yeah, for people that are not supposed to be on it.
Do you know who qualifies for Medicare and Medicaid?
People who don't work 80 hours.
People who are 65 and older.
Women that have young babies and older people. I know.
I'm sorry, Miss Tanya. I am a young mother. I do not get any form of Medicare or Medicaid. I am a young mother.
There's people that are eligible for it.
No, the change is
the change is the eligibility requirements require you to work. And under Trump's administration, he requires you to work until you're 65 now in order to receive benefits.
That's crazy.
If you're able.
That's crazy.
My daughter has been on Medicare since she was 9 years old because she has epilepsy.
I hope that nothing happens to her Medicaid.
And her Medicare, right.
But you guys have to be, the people like you have to be upset.
She took herself off of it and got a job. She took herself off of it. She got a job. She makes herself work. She takes her medicine. And she has her own insurance. She pays her own insurance.
So what about people who don't have the ability to work?
What about the poor that's not able to pay for it?
Right. Everybody can't. But he just put in constraints to say that you have to work 80 weeks to get 80 hours to get it though.
20 hours.
No, he said 80.
I thought it was 80.
It's up to 80 hours. It used to be 20. Now it is 80 hours.
The bill just passed. It's 20 hours.
Well, let's look it up. We'll see.
20.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, Tanya, for calling in and bringing some fire into the show. We appreciate you. We're gonna try to end it out though with this last little.
All right. Well, let's just stop the gaslighting of everybody, please, because conservatives are not racist. We're not racist.
They do lead with a lot of racism on here when I go through my comment section, man.
Well, hey, there are racists on every side.
I don't know how racist could you be to be a liberal who are fighting for the rights of minorities, and you're racist. That would be a weird team to be on. But okay.
How are we not fighting for the same rights for every American? It's not.
Because
we're not fighting for the rights of conservatives. We're fighting for the rights of Americans.
You're trying to keep up conservative statues from people who wanted to keep us slaves. You want to take away history by saying slavery isn't a big deal. You want to take out Donald Trump said it's not a big deal. It wasn't that bad, is what he said.
He did not.
They also want to take, he did. They also want to say that you can't learn about critical race theory in books because they don't think that's making conservatives feel bad about the past.
Snap.
Because they are still trying to say that white people in general are still racist. And they're not.
The things that
the most racist people I come across nowadays is black people.
Okay. The things that y'all are fighting for does not disprove that you're racism. When you're fighting for the people who wanted to enslave us, you wanted enslaved statues up, and you're fighting against history when black people are saying, this is what I want to say.
When you say fighting against history and then you say you want slave statues up, that was history. It was part of our history. It's part of everybody's history.
But if it's history of losers, though. They lost. So there shouldn't be any statues celebrating these people.
But they have been up for years.
And they should have never been. They never should have been up.
So why not celebrate the people who won? Why not celebrate the people who have victories in America? The people who have actually accomplished something, not the people who lost their battles.
They lost, and they were traitors.
Who doesn't celebrate people that have made it through?
They didn't make it through anything. They were racist and they were traitors, and they lost.
Okay. Here,
but we're going to move on.
We're going to take it back just a second because she said that Ms. Tanya said that the requirement was 20 hours for SNAP and Medicare. However, SNAP and Medicare have state-specific requirements for able-bodied adults without dependents. So your daughter who has epilepsy is not in this particular category.
Okay.
With generally involving working, volunteering, or participating in job training for 80 hours per month.
Yeah, it's got to be 80 hours now.
80 hours. Okay, that's what Trump put in place. 80 hours.
And I didn't hear you say a month. I thought you meant a week.
No, it's a month.
It's a month.
And this covers most able-bodied adults ages 15 or 18 to 54.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
There's a lot of people who are not going to be able to work those type of hours. There's a lot of people who are
20
getting
hours
Medicaid.
A week. I mean, that's what it amounts to. 20
that's
hours
a
a week.
full-time job is what that is.
20 hours is a full-time job?
No, it's 80 hours
per month. Which is 20 hours per week.
20 hours per week.
So it's basically a part-time job.
It's a part-time job. But still, regardless.
And what's wrong with that?
Regardless.
If you're not working anyway.
If most of the people on Medicaid are on disability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
most of these people on disability.
So
if you have a disability, it's different.
But
I hope so.
Those people who are on disabilities also have a work requirement. They cannot work over a certain amount of hours.
Right.
No.
Yes, because my mother is on disability.
If they get a job and they're on disability, they can only work so much.
Exactly.
Without losing their disability benefits.
Without losing their benefits. Without losing their benefits.
Right.
But under Trump, this 80 hours may place some of those workers outside of that requirement.
Yeah.
No, because that's training. It's community service.
How many jobs do they say?
For helping
How many people do they say Medicare will be dropping in the next 10 years? What's the
11 million people.
11 million people are looking to be losing Medicaid from these new changes.
And how many of those are illegal immigrants?
Illegal immigrants do not get Medicaid.
Is that for why?
They do not.
Unless they got special.
The only immigrants that are able to get Medicare, and I know this because I work in the medical field, so I know the law. The only people that are able to get this are DACA recipients.
That's it.
Who have been in the country since 1996.
That's it.
Right, yeah, DACA, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those are the only immigrants that are qualified for Medicare and Medicaid.
So you're going to tell me right now California does not let illegal immigrants get on there?
No.
They do not.
By law, they cannot. They do not.
That is a lie.
Federal...
New York was doing it. California was doing it. They were giving them thousands of dollars when they come across the border.
They were helping
it's
people.
It's a shame that y'all do not denigrate that those policies that were coming from Joe Biden and was destroying this country. Taking our hard-earned money, our money,
right,
and giving it to people that we have no idea who they are, where they're coming from, what they're going to do, nothing.
Well, that happens every day, and it's been happening since the 40s that people have been coming here. We don't have any idea what the people who were coming here and what they're going to do. That's America.
Legal immigrants are vetted. We know who they are. We know what they're doing. We know that they're going to be a plus to society, not a minus.
So,
not all people always come through those same
were the people
doors
that came in through Ellis Island vetted?
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were. That's when they went to Ellis Island first.
No, they weren't.
That's when they went to Ellis Island
Ellis
first.
Island, the only thing they did is sign their name and walked in. There were no rules. There was no regulations like we see today.
Well, there's rules now.
All y'all people from Europe, they just walked on in. And that's the way it was. But now we want it difficult. We want it hard.
Okay, so the people from Europe just walk on in still?
That's what happened. Yes, we just took their names and let them come in.
Russians, Ukrainians, all came across the southern border, and they are being thrown out just as well as anybody else.
Man, we just saw people come from South Africa, and they were given the red carpet treatment because they were okay.
They brought them.
They
gave them asylum.
Right.
They gave them asylum. They asked for asylum, and they gave them asylum.
Right. So why is it hard? Why is it hard to give Black and brown people from other countries asylum? Why is it hard? Why is it so difficult?
Ask for it where you are. Ask for it where you are, and then you will probably get it. Yeah. Don't come across the country. Don't come across the border and then say, "Oh, I want asylum."
Well, if I'm in a situation where I'm fleeing something that's harming me, I'm gonna come to somewhere that's not harmful, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, can you help me out?"
That's the way. That's the American way. That's
the American way,
right? We give people
the Statue of Liberty says, "Give us your huddled masses."
Oh my God!
Does it not?
That's what it does.
Yes, that's exactly what it says.
So, if the Statue of Liberty is in pursuit of happiness, and they're asking for other countries' huddled masses.
Okay, so how many illegal immigrants live at your house?
How many live at yours?
Why would legal immigrants be in my house? They live in this country. They come here and they work the jobs that many Americans do not want to work.
Are you going to go work at a hotel?
Legal immigrants.
Are you going to go do housekeeping for hotels?
No.
Are you going to go out and work the fields and pick the crops and harvest the crops?
I've done it before. What's wrong with that?
Well,
are you going to do it now?
My husband's family were sharecroppers.
Farms are going out of business.
People do those jobs too. Thank you very much.
But farms are having an issue right now, though. Farmers are having an issue. Farmers are losing money.
They can't hire anyone right now. They're having problems hiring. Some farmers are shutting down because they don't have enough people to work the farms. We've seen this in Nebraska and Iowa.
They can get plenty of legal.
No one is not going to. Why would they do that?
They got black people who come to
the
work.
People
they got
who,
plenty of people, you know what? They can't afford to pay it.
The people who are coming over working these jobs usually send the money back home to their people where the money means something.
That's the problem. That's one of the problems.
That money, if you live in America, that money doesn't mean anything.
Out.
Like you can't afford to live in America and work those areas. Like you can't.
She just made it sound like it was bad that someone comes over here to make money to help their family out to have a better life.
Isn't that the reason why people came here from Ellis Island?
They came over. People from Ellis Island came over here to make money to have a better life, to send their money back over to home, to help their families come over here, to give their families a better life, right?
If you want to come over and be a seasonal worker,
that's what most of the immigrants are. Most of the immigrants are seasonal workers.
Okay. All right.
Not all the ones they come across the damn border ain't.
Most of them are workers. They're not criminals. They're people coming over, working and trying to feed their families. That's all they're doing. And we're making that difficult for them.
That is not true.
Then why is ICE showing up at Home Depot? Why is ICE showing up at Hyundai, people's places of work, for immigrants who are actually working?
Why did they show up at Hyundai? Who did they arrest at Hyundai? Who was it? South Koreans. It wasn't.
It doesn't
They
matter.
arrested over 500 people.
South Africans.
We don't care what color they are.
Koreans.
Does it matter what kind of immigrant it is?
Yes.
Okay, so only immigrants that have color on their skin, because South Koreans are light-skinned like me.
You're talking about all these black people, and why don't you want black people? Well, South Koreans ain't black.
We don't work in these places, so it's not hurting us.
Who doesn't work in? I work construction jobs. I'm a welder, okay? A welder, a pipe welder.
Yeah.
That's 450 jobs that my fellow workers did not have because of those people that had them.
All right.
Okay.
So,
and they were exploiting those 450 workers were not getting paid right.
Right.
They were not. They were being done wrong. Okay?
So why aren't we seeing an uptick of jobs?
Of having people that are here legally.
Why did the jobs report not reflect Americans getting those positions?
Right. Why are we seeing why are we seeing unemployment tick up and jobs not catch up when all these open jobs are out there?
People on a work site that are here illegally getting paid under the table.
Well, they're sending them all home. He's been sending them home for
Last
6,
month,
7
only
months.
19,000 jobs were added. What happened to that 19,000 jobs that was?
Shouldn't there be more jobs being added if all these people are disappearing? Shouldn't
And
we see
Americans
more
are
jobs?
getting these positions?
We're not seeing that. So obviously Americans don't work these jobs. Hey, but I'm gonna
Wait a minute. All these illegals that are getting thrown out of the country is what you're talking about.
right.
How do we all know they had jobs? A lot of them were.
They just got picked up from their job site.
Because they're picking up from jobs.
450 did. That's it.
It was more than that.
It was actually 560.
We had a restaurant. We had a restaurant out here in Phoenix have to shut down.
A whole restaurant.
Several restaurants had to shut down because they didn't have enough people.
I guarantee you, I got 550 people right now that would take those jobs.
Okay, so let's see the economy add those 560 jobs next month to the jobs report.
If Americans were doing these jobs, they wouldn't have foreigners in place.
Exactly. That we wouldn't have H-1B1 visas.
If they were doing them.
They did not want to pay people the right wages at that construction site. H-1B1 visas is different. That's legal.
They're still immigrants.
That's legal, though.
But they're still coming to America, taking American jobs and taking their money and sending it back to their home countries. You do understand that, right?
And they always have been.
Right.
Exactly. So that's why the seasonal workers coming from Mexico have done the same thing. So why is it different? Why is it a bad thing that the Mexicans take the money and send it back home versus the H-1B visa workers taking the money and sending it back home? What's the difference? Why is it bad?
Wait a minute. You're conflating two different things.
No. I'm not conflating the two things.
I'm trying to get out of this.
Come over here and work. Their families are back at home.
Right.
These other people that are coming across the borders, we don't know what they're doing.
Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and end this
I
out.
don't say they want to live here, right? But they don't want to follow our laws.
Yes, they do. They are most of them are law-abiding citizens.
Oh, my God.
But we're going to be back here on
That's
Wednesday.
because our country is majority American.
Yeah, we're going to be back here on Wednesday. So give us a call on Wednesday and we'll go back through it, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
I appreciate you. You have a good rest of your day.
All right, you too. All right, bye-bye.
All right, man. We can't even get to the story. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. We appreciate her calling and going over some of the Republican talking points. We don't care what you think, Brian. We don't care what you think. Go on with your life somewhere else. We agree with that, Trail Goat. Make America Gestapo again. Oh, man. You can't fix stupid. You're right, man. These people, man, you know, they are against people coming here, but people coming here has been the staple of America since the beginning. Everyone in this country except the natives and the people from South America and Mexico are visitors. All the Europeans, all the Africans, we all came to their country, man, to live this life. And for us to spit on people that are coming here, spit on people who are trying to change their lives is ridiculous to me.
People are just looking for a better living.
Yep, that's all we're doing, man. We're all just trying to make a better life for ourselves. And I don't care if you're Korean, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Haitian. All people should have a chance to a better life.
Mm-hmm.
And Biden was doing that. He was bringing in people and they were just pissed. All those Haitians that they brought in, they already done got them out of here. It's tough, man. Those people, you know what's going on in Haiti. We see all the gang violence and the craziness that's going down there and people trying to get out, and we're like, nope. Those are the people that we supposed to be helping, because that's what America is supposed to be about. Now, we appreciate everybody calling in today and watching. If you like what you hear, you want to be a part of what's going, the movement of Habari, make sure to subscribe, like, share, talk to your people about it, man, because we're about making sure that our voices are heard and the voice of those who are not being listened to are heard. And next on Wednesday, you can give us a call. We'll set it up. We'll bring the phone on Wednesday. We usually don't. But yeah, the natives, they came a lot earlier. So they get to say, since they were the first people here, they get to say a little bit more than the other people who try to keep others from coming to this country. So thank you. We appreciate you. And until next time, peace.
Holla, holla.
Ooh, that lady didn't want to talk. And you just gonna keep arguing. I'm like, Blake, stop arguing with this lady, please.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us